Hi everyone, it's Macy, and this is my Percy Jackson story.
Things have changed for me, and that's okay. I feel the same. I'm on my way, and I say
Today is Percy Jackson's birthday. He is one of my favorite book characters of all time, so I thought I would make this video to celebrate his birthday. I remember it like it was yesterday. My friends asked me to go see the second Percy Jackson movie, so the Sea of Monsters. I happily agreed to go because I was like, oh well, I've seen The Lightning Thief, and I thought that that was a pretty good movie. Keep in mind this was, I think, 7th or 8th grade, around that time. So at this point I wasn't much of a reader and I had not read the books. After seeing the movie, I remember telling my friends that I thought that it was pretty good. And understandably, they laughed in my face. They said that it was one of the worst movies that they had ever seen. They had read the books. They also suggested that I read the books because if I loved that horrible movie so much, then I would love the books. So I agreed, and a few days later I picked up The Lightning Thief. I always knew that Percy Jackson existed. I had always seen kids in my class reading it, but I never had the desire to read it myself. And man, am I glad I decided to read these books. Next thing you know, I'm reading the last chapter of Mark of Athena in one of my classes. I remember reading about Percy and Annabeth falling into Tartarus and almost crying in the middle of class. I had to shut the book and put my head down on the desk. Each time a Heroes of Olympus book would come out, I would rush to the bookstore after school, and then I would read it and then finish it a few days later. I remember crying so hard at the end of Blood of Olympus. I hated that book so much, but the thought that I would never be able to read Percy's character again made me so sad. Percy Jackson was my favorite book character of all time for the longest time. I had such an intense fictional crush on him that it was so crazy. But let's be honest, who doesn't love the Son of Poseidon? Percy Jackson, like Harry Potter, helped me get through a really hard time in my life. All my life I've had learning disabilities. The doctors could never figure out what to diagnose me with. I felt so alone and frustrated. Every teacher I had tried to teach me, but it never worked. I always felt like I was being held back by my disabilities, so I related to Percy and the other demigods. They showed me that my disabilities shouldn't hold me back. Yes, you may suck at school, but you may shine bright in other areas. So I got help. And I got tested by professionals. I was diagnosed with learning disabilities in math and science. I also have a really high case of anxiety, and I have ADHD and dyslexia. Even when I was younger, I wasn't a good reader, but the Greek mythology, like myths and Greek myths, just always intrigued me. I always wanted to read these stories because they were so cool to learn about, but I could never read them because my brain couldn't process what I was reading, and the words were so big and it was just really hard for me to read them. So Percy Jackson helped me learn about the Greek heroes and myths and everything like that. Percy Jackson will always be a part of my life, and I have it to thank for getting me through a really hard time in my life. So there you have it, that is my Percy Jackson story. I actually filmed this video in advance because right now I'm actually in a car on my way to a campsite. I'm going on a camping vacation for a few days, so I should be videotaping that and putting it into a vlog. If you like this video, then please leave a like. And if you want to see more of my content in the future, then please feel free to subscribe down below. Also, if you want to see more of me for some reason, then my social media will all be linked down below. Comment down below what your godly parent would be. Mine is a toss-up between Apollo or Hephaestus. Thanks again for watching. Bye!